Hey there, my friends. What is going on? Vitaly Dubin is here, founder of Bitcoin's Wealth Club, where we are helping people become Bitcoin millionaires. And we are starting our almost daily content broadcast yet again to share the light, to shed the lights about what's going on with Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency world, to discuss with you the major things that are happening, impacting the cryptocurrency community. And I have a lot to discuss today. I want to look at a longer term factors that actually can drive Bitcoin for the next big bull market in 2020. What can actually cause Bitcoin to rise? I want to also discuss what we're seeing in the charts and some Bitcoin technical analysis, and also some big major headlines in the news too that I want to discuss with you. So let's get this started. I'm excited. I've been missing you guys. I've been a lot on travel and different seminars over the last months. And I'm back with you and more excited than ever to start this year strong with our Bitcoin's Wealth Club community and share with you how you can benefit about this technology and where it is headed over the next decade, because we have celebrated a decade of Bitcoin innovation. Gosh, a lot happened not only during the last year, over the last decade, where Bitcoin rose by over 9 million%. If you were one of the luckiest person that actually bought some Bitcoin back in 2010, you would have made 9 million% or more on Bitcoin. So it definitely, in terms of its growth, done much better than all the other investment vehicles that we know, like stocks and bonds and the other vehicles for investing. So it is exciting times. We are starting a new decade, and I want to discuss, will Bitcoin reach $1 million by the end of the decade, and what we are seeing over the shorter term and also over the longer term. So I want to share my screen with you right now, and let me know if you guys are able to see the screen. Just one moment. I'm taking a look as well. So yeah, it's been a rough month for Bitcoin. We're definitely looking at the charts right now on a major multi-year downward pressure, right? Like we have peaked in December 2017, right? We've been down this year of 2018. All of this year. I don't know why I'm seeing an echo. Just 1 second, guys. Yeah, so we are still in this downtrend. If we draw this trend line from here to here, yes, we did had this bull rise since January 2018 that peaked right here in the summer of 2019. Right, there was a crazy 400% uptrend, and now we are still in this downward moving spiral for Bitcoin over the last 6 months. Okay, and overall the trajectory is still in a bear market if we're looking at the monthly on the multi-year picture. I mean, let's be honest about it, but let's not forget about the moving pieces of the macro trends that actually affect in a big way the price, which is the supply and demand. That's what I want to talk to you about right now, because one of the most maybe underreported events that actually occurred in November 2019, a couple months ago, was the fact that the German banks just passed a law, and this is what Tika Tiwari writes about it. Just so you guys know that on November 29, okay, Europe's largest economic power, which is Germany, rewrote its laws to allow banks to do all of this buying, holding, selling, and creating securitized crypto products starting January 1st, which was yesterday. And the new law implementing the fourth European Union anti-money laundering directive passed by Germany's parliament clears the way for German banks to build crypto products, offer crypto trading, hold crypto on behalf of their clients, which is really, really big thing. And it is starting to happen right now. Even the most conservative German bank, the Deutsche Bank, recently released a report heralding the death of cash and the rise of cryptographic money like Bitcoin. And the global head of fundamental credit strategy, the thematic research douchebag, expects cryptographic money, which is cryptocurrency, will supplant fiat by the year 2030. And what it means is we believe the incentives of governments and card providers and such as the digital currencies are inevitable. So take a look at this. The German banks and brokers and hedge funds control nearly $3.1 trillion in assets. And let's assume crypto becomes viewed as an alternative asset like gold. That suggests we could see as much as $150 billion of it flow into cryptocurrency just from Germany alone. Just from Germany, $150 billion. That's quite significant because the entire market cap of Bitcoin right now is $128 billion, which means it's much higher than this right now, 150 billion. As Europe financial leader, it's not too much of a stretch to imagine where Germany goes, the rest of Europe will follow. Countries like France and Britain and Italy and Spain. In fact, it's already started to happen. We are seeing the $1 trillion Dutch banking giant ING announce it will allow its customers to store their crypto assets with the bank. As broadening the crypto acceptance plays out in Europe, is just 1% of all European financial assets find their way into crypto. That's an extra $230 billion that could ultimately find its way into crypto investments. And here we are having the ING banks wants to give clients a compliant way to store cryptocurrency. Now, what does it mean, right? Well, we are seeing the demand for crypto is getting bigger in such a way that German giant banks are actually allowing its citizens, starting from yesterday, and it's all legally, right, to store cryptocurrency in the bank and have them manage it, offer a different cryptocurrency product. Now, think about it, like if we are finding cryptocurrency, if cryptocurrency are going to get so prevalent that it will be in the banks, right, or which people are currently used to. I'm not saying that banks are the future. I'm saying banks have still a huge power in the world and in terms of their ability to manage people's money. So we can see cryptocurrencies adoption go into the banking financial systems in a bigger way. That could mean much faster and bigger adoption for Bitcoin. Also, we are having the Fidelity Investments in November. The fourth largest U.S. money manager and broker received approval from New York to begin offering crypto trading custody to its clients in the States. So in a statement, the state's Department of Financial Services said Fidelity can now launch a digital currency trading platform on which institutional investors and individuals can securely store, purchase, sell, and transfer Bitcoin to New York residents. And they have just 30 million retail clients and over 20,000 business clients, right? Now, there are also 500 million stock investors. And Wall Street is looking for ways to charge more fees, to create more products and new products to charge fees for those 500 million investors. And cryptocurrency products can be just one of those new products that they launch, right? What does it mean? Well, it means that we are going to have much bigger demand for Bitcoin in the coming year. From the supply side, you know that the Bitcoin halving is coming in May 2020. We're just 5 months away from this historical event. As you know, 21 million Bitcoin can only be in existence, no more. We have mined about 80% of the Bitcoins. We are right now at about 18 million Bitcoin. The supply will cut in half, going from 12.5 Bitcoin to 6.25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, which means that if right now we generate 1,800 Bitcoins every day, in May 2020 will generate 900 Bitcoins a day. And that will inevitably affect Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets. Also, we have very, very good bullish news from the perspective of the Bitcoin hash rate that is now 7 times the size it was during 2017 all-time high. When we measure the actual transactions per second, the actual rate by which the computers that support the Bitcoin network, how many of these guesses they are making, we are having right now 95 million terahashes per second, which means, just back in 2 years ago, we were having the hash rate was 14.6 million. So we are 7 times more than this right now, which is a good sign, which means that the network is more secure and the miners are in the game. There's more competition than ever. And the difficulty on the network is much higher. So people are anticipating the Bitcoin halving event in 5 months, and it's already been expressed by more miners are getting into the game of mining and increasing this their ability to process all of these transactions, right? So why the Bitcoin price has not responded yet to this increase in the hash rate? Well, sometimes it takes some time to, there's no like immediate correlation. Like you can see the pattern, but I can tell you that, if it's happening right now, then it's only a matter of time when Bitcoin price is going to adjust to the difficulty adjustment that we are seeing. Okay, so those are some of the important things that are happening right now for Bitcoin. Now, looking at the charts, you may say, okay, we are right now kind of in a spot where actually we've been trading for a while in this range, all the way since November 2019, from about 7,000 to about 7,800, and we're going a little bit in a downward spiral. Today we see again a little move downwards. We crashed twice here at $6,500 region, and we are not quite there yet right now. But overall, the picture right now, we are still in a downward sloping channel right here for Bitcoin. But overall, on a bigger picture, we are not yet below the 200 days moving averages, which is this yellow line right here. So that means, as you can see right here, when we were just touching this 200-day moving average, we bounced back pretty hard from that since December 2018. We are not quite there to say, okay, we are in a total bear market, okay? But, we have those corrections, and that is okay. That is okay, because as long as we keep somewhere in this region, and this is a very important one, the $6,000 to $7,000 has been a very long time region, as you can see, for Bitcoin, about $6,000. As long as we are somewhere in this area, we can have this correction going on and then bounce off of that pretty hard to the upside and start the next crazy massive bull run cycle. Now, overall, I want to also to discuss, and this is, by the way, what people and analysts are saying, that Bitcoin price to hit $50,000 after halving. Other people say $100,000, but $50,000 is more realistic. Halving is priced in correctly. Markets are efficient. So there've been analysis that have been done on the impact and the stock to flow ratio, and where we can expect Bitcoin, all kinds of complicated formulas for a Bitcoin halving and how it will affect the Bitcoin price. So $50,000 is the figure, and overall, there is a lot of discussions about where Bitcoin can reach $1 million. and the community is overall optimistic about it over the next decade, right? Over the next 10 years. It may seem a far-fetched from now because Bitcoin to hit $1 million should rise about 13,600%. What we are talking about a decade, the next 10 years, what will happen for Bitcoin price. And for that to be possible, for the 13,600% or so from this point in time, for Bitcoin to hit $1 million, we need to have 15 to 21 trillion dollars that is the total market capitalization for Bitcoin. And right now there is about 36.4 trillion dollars of actual money in circulation. That was that was true for 2017, so it's not exactly accurate as of right now, but somewhere in this region we need to have Bitcoin to take half of all the money in circulation in order for Bitcoin to reach $1 million, right? For one Bitcoin, which is possible when mass adoption will happen more and more, when we are going to see people use Bitcoin on a day-to-day basis, which all indications are leading to this, as not just, as you can see, banks are getting into the space of the cryptocurrency, but companies like Starbucks and developing the solutions for people to go in the Starbucks and buy things with Bitcoin. Companies like Facebook and Telegram, they're developing their own coins for people to use cryptocurrency across their networks, across their systems, right? So with the adoption, as we are seeing, the information is moving so fast in our era. I can certainly see that Bitcoin is going to be more and more popular as they make it more streamlined. And you can see new technologies, like, for example, Coinbase is working on an exciting new Bitcoin technology that actually allows you to send Bitcoin to an email address, right? So the patent already had been filed detailing the advantages of the technology. Now, it's not quite there yet, but imagine sending money over people in email, right, over Bitcoin. So those type of technologies, as you know, everybody has an email address. They have to in order to be in Facebook or in other platforms. So sending money over email can be also quite a big catalyst for mass adoption of Bitcoin. So when that happens, I see no reason why Bitcoin is not going to be worth much more than what we are seeing right now. So looking at the bigger picture, you may be a little bit discouraged that the price of Bitcoin is still hovering about $7,000 and has been for the last 4 weeks or so, but even more than that. But you need to see the bigger picture, and that's what I want you guys to really point out right here. Never ever take your eyes off the big picture for Bitcoin and where it's headed and what is the driving force, because those things can be caused by some sell-off, of mass sell-off, and stuff like that. But ultimately, this is still a small bucket from the entire cryptocurrency market. That this is the time when this happens to accumulate and dollar cost average and get into the market at those levels, and then boom, when the time comes, if you were to invest right here around $600, $1,000, you would be wanting to cash out right here, somewhere here, to dollar cost average out of the game. You don't want to get in the game right here when it's at the peak. So the same thing, when it's going to start to go up, you want to gradually take off and sell off some Bitcoin and move into dollars and get out, and not buy the peaks. You want to buy at the bottoms. Another thing I wanted to discuss with you today is the very, very controversial $8 billion Tulip trust, which let me see if I can find it, from this guy, the alleged Satoshi Nakamoto, the Craig Wright, okay, the Tulip Trust. So what happens is this $8 billion Bitcoin Tulip Trust expires just yesterday, and according to this huge court hearing that was earlier, so Wright actually said that on January 1st, which was yesterday, approximately 1.1 million Bitcoin will be returned to Wright. And it should have been by a bonded courier, okay, that is supposed to deliver Craig Wright the keys to roughly 1 million Bitcoin, which is today about $8 billion or so. I think it's a little less right now, $7 billion. But the thing is that they asked Craig Wright about this, and he said, I'm not sure if I'm going to obtain the keys. I'm not sure. I can't be certain that information will arrive. So people are like, okay, we don't really trust, we don't really believe that Craig Wright is actually going to receive that 1 million Bitcoin. But even if he assured everybody that he is not going to sell that Bitcoin. Craig Wright wrote, I'm going to have 821,000 Bitcoin used in 2020. So supposedly somewhere in January, he is going to get access, allegedly, for that large amount of Bitcoin. And he said he's not going to sell it. He's not going to set the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin community, by selling the Bitcoin on the open market, if in fact that is the case. So the whole cryptocurrency market is kind of looking at this right now. Is he ever going to get the keys, and what he's going to do with all that Bitcoin? Is he going to get the half to Kleiman, and what he's going to do with the rest of the Bitcoin, if in fact they mined 1 million Bitcoin 2009, 2010, which may be the case. I don't know. We're going to get to see. But right now, the entire cryptocurrency market is down quite a bit. Not just Bitcoin. If you take a look at the last 3 months, cryptocurrency market suffered a little bit as we went from $250 billion in the end of October to now about $188 billion. And the Bitcoin dominance is at a pretty high levels right now, 68.1%, which is a lot. It's not as high as it was in the beginning of 2017, but it is still very high, as people less trust, I would say, generally over the other cryptocurrencies. I'm talking for all the cryptocurrency market overall, generally speaking, and Bitcoin is gaining strength. Okay, and as you can see, the cryptocurrencies projects are just piling up and up and up, and they're just getting more and more of those cryptocurrency projects, which most of them are not going to make it. But people are trying to make use case of different cryptocurrency projects to actually gain communities. That's what drives cryptocurrency projects, is the communities, is people actually believing in the project and using the currency in their day-to-day life. Like, for example, Tron is a strong coin because a lot of the decentralized applications are built on the Tron network, and it's in the top 12 cryptocurrencies according to the market cap. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, guys. I hope that you are having a fantastic week and starting the year strong of 2020. Keep your eyes on the bullseye, which is the long-term perspective for Bitcoin and where it is heading. Like I said, from the supply, we're going to have a big major event in May 2020. And from the demand, we're seeing this is increasing as Germany banks will start to accept trade and store and hodl crypto for its citizens starting from yesterday. So this is quite a big news for the cryptocurrency community, and hopefully we'll start to see the bull market sooner than later right here in 2020. Okay, so enjoy your day, and I'll talk to you soon.